Hello and welcome to the Missed Q. I'm your host, Ricky, and with me is my co-host,
Jackie.
And today on the Missed Q, we have Lonnie Stevenson and Jerry Aldridge.
Hey.
How you guys doing?
Good. Right.
You guys are doing the current production of 1776 at Grace Arts Live right now. The reason I wanted to have you guys on was because you have a lot of history with theater in Lake Havasu City, even dating back to the 90s. And you have no history with the theater dating back from just a few weeks ago. So I thought it'd be an interesting dynamic. And you two, let's talk about 1776 really quick. So talk about you are both Delaware delegates. So give me a little breakdown, starting with you, Lonnie, about your character.
I can't stand this guy.
George Reed.
He's a irritating, annoying. I'm the outsider. There's actually three of us that are delegates from Delaware, and I am the lone no vote for independence. Mm-hmm. And there is a lot of animosity between my character, Jerry's, and
he's despicable.
Yeah, and Jim Lusk, who plays Caesar Rodney. So it's an interesting introduction to theater, having to play a bad guy in a.
You're worse than that.
It's a.
Nice it's not even
story.
like a fun animated villain. It's like a real life. This person was
against independence.
Not like a horrible human being, but just against.
Well, that's.
Well, maybe I'm wrong there, but. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. It would be different if you were playing like some Disney villain and could have fun with it, but not that you're not having fun. But
he's an antagonist.
Yeah,
definitely an antagonist.
So what about your character, Colonel McKean?
Inept.
How do we pronounce that?
McKean. Don't say McKean because you get a note from Eileen.
McKean. I am a dastardly
and maybe a finger too.
Probably both.
No, I'm a dastardly Scotsman. I am cranky. I am really, really upset with this sniveling weasel Reed. And I'm I'm doing everything I can. Honestly, if I wanted to influence or persuade you, I wouldn't be calling you Weasel and Little Roach. Well, I don't understand. In the way the script is written, I do everything I can to upset him and make him not interested in doing what we want.
Yeah, you guys have a few bits that are great to try to persuade his vote.
When I first met him after auditions, I knew this was not going to be difficult.
To hate on him?
All the time. Mm-hmm. No, I think we get along famously. I really do. Off stage.
Yeah. So okay, that's an interesting viewpoint. My viewpoint on Lonnie was I was intimidated. So I'll get back to that. We're going to put a pin in that. But so tell me about how you
next on Dr. Phil.
Tell me about your audition process. Was there any sort of audition process for you? How did you get reeled into this?
My audition process was Chris asking me. We had jokes about doing a play together.
Chris Rydell, who viewers have seen before,
is a good friend of mine. We actually work next door to each other, and obviously following him and Ian's evolution through theater, the popular joke is when Ian first tried out and Chris did his first role, he said, "Yes, but I'm never singing or dancing on stage," and I hold him to that to this day. So then now I became the bunt of that joke where I'm never doing theater. And we goofed around about doing it. Well, there was some scuttlebutt last year about Grace doing Addams Family.
Okay.
And I'm like, I would love to play Lurch.
Oh, you'd be great.
Oh, that would be amazing,
actually.
You'd be
natural.
So that just kind of became the funny haha. Well, then around Christmas time, this 1776 was coming about, and it's a heavy male play, and Chris asked if I was interested, and I'm like, well, again, we're back to the singing and dancing version, and he said, well, there's really not a whole lot of either, and there's major roles, and we would probably cast you in something somewhat minor, are you interested? And he's like, well, tryouts are tonight. I'm like,
Leave it to
short
Chris
notice.
last
okay.
minute.
I got nothing for a tryout. So
Did you sing? Or dance?
I'm like, yeah, I'm good. So tryouts went, and I did not participate in tryouts. I jokingly said, my tryout can be my 400 videos that I've done in the last 3 years online. So
My credentials speak for
Right?
themselves.
plus I do stuff with River
Too
Sea
many.
magazine and some other exposure. So then a couple weeks later, he's like, Jason is interested in casting you. If he offered you a role, would you accept and would you do? And it's like, oh, now the pressure's really on. I got to commit. And then knowing Chris and seeing the commitment that you all make when you accept a role was like, whoa. And again, backstory, I'm doing stuff with River Scene. So we are in event season with Balloon Fest, which I'm heavily involved in, pyrotechnics, rockabilly, Chowder Fest coming up. There's just a lot of stuff going on. And I was like, wow, I'd probably have to take a step back from that. And I was intrigued by it just to do something different. And so I said yes. And he's like, well, Jason wants to know if you commit, will you commit? And I'm like, yeah, if I give him my word, I'll do it. I'll do it. So the cast list came out, and there's my name, and now reality hit like, oh, God, what have I signed up for? So you want to talk about intimidating. So then we go and we get our books, and then we go, and I think measurements were one of the first things that we did.
Costumes.
And there's this sorority of guys that you all have been in shows, and everybody knows each other. And I'm sitting there, and I know Chris and a few people. And I'm like, oh my God, this is uncomfortable. So then we go to the first music rehearsal, and Jackie here goes, okay, I need
Jackie's musical director.
tenors
of the
over
show.
here and baritones over here and whatever.
What are you?
And I'm looking around like, and where do the people that don't know diddly go? And Lee White is standing next to me, and Lee goes, come back here with me because I just mouth.
Yep.
So that was rehearsal
Watermelon,
number
watermelon,
one, and away we go.
I remember like
Showed up to rehearsal number 2 though, so that's good.
So
came back. It's
It
good.
was that was the biggest intimidating part, was like, okay. And then I really was like, you know what? I'm here, I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to be shy about it. So I jumped in, and yeah.
I hear him singing. He sings great.
Yeah, I haven't heard your voice.
I've
We
heard
do
him in
we
the-
do the big
Oh,
opening
no,
number
no.
together. We do the big opening number together. So there is some singing, and luckily we have Jackie back there at least as the safety net, really
were
flailing the
great
glow
in that,
stick.
by
She
the
was
way.
back
Thank
there
you.
until I think we were in the middle of Hell Week. Did I know that she was back?
Yeah.
Because part of the role is I have my glasses off.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm good up to about 4 rows in the theater, and then after that, it's a big fuzz
So the
bomb.
whole time we were rehearsing at the studio, and she was doing this over next to the music, you didn't see any of that.
What
No
the hell
wonder-
is
Well,
she?
say probably not.
Is she chasing flies over
Well,
there, or
now
what
she
is
has a glow
doing?
stick, so it's a little
Yeah,
more
the glow stick
obvious.
is better.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stick
wow.
works at night. Well, no, I think you have an amazing voice. I think you should continue to sing in shows
Right.
at Grace Arts.
Have you seen theater before that? Really, a lot, or
Oh, I've been to many of the shows, and it's always been fascinating. I'm, again, that weird guy that kind of looks. Chris and I had done stuff together. We had done videos together, doing my own stuff, and knowing what it takes to put together, even small video clips. We had done some
Marketing.
We had done some podcast stuff ourselves, and just knowing everything that goes into. I was more fascinated by watching you guys on stage and the interaction and the steps and the choreography, and just I'm thinking of like, wow, what did it take for them to put that scene together? So
Right.
now to be part of that process is, for me, that's the really fascinating part.
Yeah, and now you're a part of like scene 3 in 1776 holds the record for the longest non-musical scene in a musical, and you're a part of that. And you're right, it's like
It
like
is a long time.
40-minute scene, and
But it's intense. There's
yeah.
there's a lot going on.
Right. It's not just normal dialogue. It's
No.
there are some big things that come out in that scene that if you skip it, it really miss a huge chunk of the plot of
Yeah.
how we got to sign the Declaration.
Yeah.
yeah, somebody asked me, they were like, so like, is it an interesting show? And I said, it's very interesting, but honestly, if you doze off for 5 minutes and you're lost, then you know, you're missing the whole point of that scene. So it's one of those you have to kind of pay attention to follow along. But no, it's that's the reason though I was intimidated with Lonnie, because you have an online presence. It's like you don't even have to be friends. You can have this guy blocked on every social media platform. You're still gonna
yes,
see
you
his
will still
face.
see
Oh
it.
no!
Yep.
Still gonna see his face.
All I did was say, I like this particular thing that you sent me, and now you're the only thing on my. The
algorithm.
Look at anything else? Nothing. And I got 6 mortgages in process right now. I don't even want a house. My goodness gracious!
Oh wow. Well, Jerry, you've been doing this for many years. Your first show was here in town, Lake Havasu City, with
My first show here in Lake Havasu
was
Grace directing Oklahoma. Cindy and I came home from our honeymoon a day early to audition for Oklahoma. And she got a part in the ensemble, and I got the part of Evil Judd Fry. And it was the most amazing experience.
so your first role was a villain as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I see a theme here,
It was-
Delaware.
It was
Right?
a blast. But it was a blast. I remember going out like afterwards, like we'd go out and visit with people, and the little kids crying when they saw me. They would, they didn't like me. I was,
Yeah.
I was mean on stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so
What year was that?
1999. That was May 1999. And then, and it was such a, just an amazing, Rod Lockman and Bill Weldon, and I mean, all the gang. Matter of fact, I remember Bill Weldon, it was like second night. The rule is Friday night, opening night, everything goes great. Don't change anything. Do the same thing that you did Saturday night. Do the same exact thing. Don't change anything. Do not get comfortable. Well, we're all like, we got this. And so Bill Weldon and I are backstage waiting for the show to start. Music happens. Rosie Masika, God rest her soul, most beautiful woman, and she's playing Grandma, right? And Ma Keller, what is it? I don't know.
I don't know.
Aunt Eller.
Aunt Eller. I was really close. She's playing Aunt Eller, and she's in a rocking chair, and Bill and I are yucking it up in the backstage right and behind the curtain. And we hear Aunt Eller say, "Well, Curly, how are you this afternoon? You look great." Well, he's standing there talking to me. He has a stroke. I see his eyes get this big, and he looks at me like, this isn't happening. He turns around, runs at sprints backstage behind the curtain that you're not supposed to run behind
yeah.
because
Oh,
you can
yeah.
see it in the front. Sprints by it. It goes whoosh, and I'm thinking, Grace is out there. She's going to see this. And then he does a 180 because he's on the wrong side of the stage now because he didn't know where he started from. He runs back straight at me like he's going to run me over, and then walks out on stage like there's nothing wrong. Mm-hmm. Few, maybe 40 seconds late. But
That's
He
an
missed his
eternity.
cue.
That's an
No,
eternity. He didn't
no.
miss his cue. Wow.
it is. There's
Wow.
no
There's definitely a
excuse
panic
for
that
Mr.
sets
Late
in.
Fee.
You haven't missed any cues this show,
Oh,
right?
yes, he
Right?
has.
Have you?
Oh,
No.
Oh, okay.
like I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think he's
you're
super
spot
on it.
You're spot on.
Never.
You know what? There is panic. There's
jinxed me
panic that
tonight.
sets up. Yeah.
What?
I'm jinxed now for tonight.
I know. I was like, tonight
No,
might
you
not
You
be.
just
be-
never
you'll
know
be
what's going to happen. Jerry comes in the trailer last night, and I'm talking. I knew to be quiet for at least 30 seconds. I was quiet for like almost 2 minutes, and I'm in the trailer, and no plans of talking until Jim Lusk's, and they're giving me a history lesson.
Sure.
As he
That's
does.
good
does.
Because he
history.
knows
I love it.
all.
And it's interesting, but he starts
everything
asking me
about this
questions, and I start answering, and then Jerry comes in and covers my face. He's like, "Your microphone's on," and that feeling was.
I'm at the back of the stage looking
That
to the
was
monitor
the one
because
that
I
we
love
were
the
hearing
show.
on stage. It was
Yeah.
yours.
And I'm
Yeah.
and I'm listening, and we've got Franklin
Oh, yeah, 'cause
and
you were
John
still-
Adams
Yeah, I was still on stage.
talking,
I'm like,
and then every once in a while, Ricky's interjecting. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Listening to Lusk talk about history.
Yeah, and then
I'm thinking, what? Who is that? 'Cause I
and
had
then
to
you
figure out-
retrace what did I just say? Was it bad?
that's
you know.
awesome.
No, you've never said anything bad, Ricky.
No,
Never.
no.
No.
Yeah, I mean, we've had people urinating on mic that were left on, and you can hear them in the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, shut them
Get
up.
that? Yeah.
That's a tough job, especially I couldn't imagine having to manage 20.
Well, and I
20
think that's the thing
microphones.
with this show is when you guys do leave stage, a huge chunk of you leave at once. So then it's like, okay, this person, yep, this one's off. This
To
one's
be
off.
fair, I left
You
far
were
after
gone
the
way
group.
before, yes, or way after the group, and had plenty of time. But I think it was the uncertainty of whose voice it was, and
Yeah.
I like finally leaned over and I go, "It's Ricky," and they were
I
like,
was listening. I was listening to the voice, and I said, "I've got to figure out who this is and who the person is." And I'm just fortunate that I've heard your voice way too often.
Yeah.
That I know it now.
Man, I can't believe you had to come in the trailer and shut me up. But no, that's the thing about live theater. You never know. At least with like video and stuff, you can redo a take or whatever. But I mean, it's out there, and when it happens, sometimes it's not even your fault. Like we've seen.
Oh no, live theater.
Already.
That's what the wonderful thing about live theater is. It's never the same twice. You never know how like the audience will respond differently one night to a
Yeah.
little joke. Or
And then it always helps, depending on who's on stage with you. Like there are certain actors, like Tyler Fallis. He was able to kind of know what happened last weekend during one of the performances and kind of help us get back on track. So it's in those times. For me, I play Thomas Jefferson, and I'm just in that scene. There's 12 pages where I don't say anything.
right.
So the mess up happened in the middle of my 12 pages. So I just sat back. I'm like, this sounds like not my problem. But I also knew that there was a ton of actors on stage that I knew can handle it. And, too many cooks in the kitchen sort of thing. And I don't want to be that. But
Well,
yeah.
and I heard my cue, and so I jumped in with my line, and it was like, God, that felt like that was way too soon. That's where we should be doing this.
"You're like, wait, there's usually more."
But the
that
motion
happens."
was made, and I knew I had the second, so I was like, and I saw
Yes.
Tyler look back behind me, and it was like, hey, I think I'm on track. I don't know where everybody else is at.
There was that one time where we were doing the vote and like all those opposed, and we were all like,
Wait, what are we opposed to? What?
Yeah.
opposed.
You
Like,
saw a few people from each side, and I was like, wait, no, you're supposed to be nay.
yeah.
Not...
Sometimes it gets just out of control like that, but
Well, that's the excitement of it.
Well, and then
As a-
again, you have to know the scene well enough to know, yes, you have 12 pages until you talk again. But also, if they skip all these lines and all of a sudden the cue line for the music's played and I play the music,
Yeah.
you got to be like, oh, and now it's my song. Because in that scene in particular, I was sitting back there thinking, okay, do I just start the music and move this along, or are we just going to be stuck in this spiral in this
Yeah.
forever?
yeah. Quick
So-
decisions
so-
must be made.
What made you decide not to start the music? Or did you were just listening and following? And
So I was listening and following and trying to flip and find where you guys were. And I realized that if I were to play the song wouldn't make sense because you guys had never talked about how there needed to be a declaration written.
Right.
So it would have been a song about writing the declaration that you guys didn't say you
Right.
needed.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, they have to, we talk all the time, you have to advance the plot. And if I had played that song, the plot would have had huge holes.
Yeah, my thing is, people get off stage when things go wrong, and they're always frustrated, and it's like I always ask, like, did we tell the story? Did we get the message across for that scene? Did we bridge? the gap for
Yeah, you
for the
can't
story.
spend any time on making a mistake.
Yeah, because then it's just a domino
past it,
effect.
stand up, run.
Whatever.
Well, and that's the thing about this show too. You said before, there's so many experienced actors on that stage that in that moment I knew this is like the Avengers of like local theater and like well-known people that they're going to figure it out. Someone's going to get them back on track eventually.
Yeah, we
you,
may
like,
take
feel
the.
safe
It's like
in
we
that
take the
moment.
script pages and we just jumbled them up, and we're like,
Yeah.
we're gonna get them all out.
Just might be in a weird order, but it's okay.
Yeah, it might not make sense, but it's fine.
No, you've been in productions where somebody skips a whole page.
Oh my gosh, let me tell you a story real quick about the worst nightmare. The only time I've ever wanted to walk off stage in my whole life,
Really?
out of embarrassment, and it was your fault.
Mine?
The gloves are off.
Yes, the gloves are
Okay,
off. I just
okay.
got to share this
Okay,
story.
fine.
So we're doing Guys and Dolls. This is 2003, May. It's burned
you
into
know
my
what?
memory.
No, this hurt.
This guy,
You mean when we
Luck Be a
started?
Lady.
Oh, my
So he
goodness.
basically
Okay,
didn't
so
remember
wait,
any of the lyrics.
In my defense, okay, when I started singing Luck Be a Lady, and when I started my Foursquare dance, so I'm the choreography. I start the choreography, and then all the people behind me
We're
Right.
mirroring him.
Right.
mirror the choreography. I just decided not to do it to the music.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
we're
big
dancing at weird
problem.
times because it's kind of like you were saying. You heard your cue line, you went. You knew what you were supposed to do. You were the second domino. Well, he started doing it, and we were supposed to mirror him. So
You guys all did it. We all did it great. We just didn't do it to the music. I'm still thinking it was a really good production.
so then, after the show, we all get called up to the stage, right?
Jim, remember who our music director was?
Josh.
Was it Josh?
Yes.
Josh
But-
was
So
very upset.
So we all get called up. We all get called up to the stage, right? And I'm looking around, and all the crap shooters are up there. No Jerry. No Jerry. We were all
I
getting
wasn't
yelled
going
at.
back up
We were all. See,
I'm the one that
we're all
did
getting
it.
yelled at. And I'm
I
like, "Are you
left.
serious right now?" Oh man! But then I heard he got his own little
Oh,
across
okay.
the face.
Well-
No, it was not good.
He got his own scolding for sure.
I didn't
but,
do it again.
But oh my gosh, I've never been in that moment where I was like, oh my god. I mean, I was brand new. That was like my second year of doing shows. So
I was with your dad, my dear friend Rick Van Lent Sr., and we were doing God's Favorite. Mm-hmm. And there's a scene where Cindy and I are playing the butler and maid, and so we're just taking care of stuff back and forth, and don't really have many lines except for one part that we have lines, and this is our part that we're going to do, our scene. The house burns down, and now we go backstage, and we get ashes all over our face, and we put on these clothes so we look like we cleaning up a fire, right? We're ready to go on. Eileen's stage managing. We're in the little theater at the PAC, and Eileen goes like this to give us our cue to go on, and she goes, "Go get dressed." I said, "What? We're dressed." "No, you're not in the scene anymore. Go get dressed." They skipped 3 pages.
that's my dad.
3 pages gone, and we looked at each other and went, "Well, son of a gun."
The only reason I said yes to doing the show.
No, it was a great show, and we did more than one, so we got to do the part. But I loved working with your dad.
Yeah, no, he was.
He was intense.
Yeah, he was intense.
be
He was
intense.
intense to act with.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of theater to be done, and I do feel like I would like to get into more non-musicals, comedies, straight plays, and stuff. And I think, let's say that happened. Let's say there was one non-musical a year. Would you be drawn to do it since there's no choreography and music?
Or would you rather learn to dance?
So again, funny story. I think after we were in the middle of rehearsals, and I was talking with Chris, and I said, if there was ever an opportunity to do a show, I would love to do 12 Angry Men.
I was just gonna say.
That
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And he's like, well, Grace doesn't do non-musicals, so that's never going to happen. And I'm like, I know, but I just think that would be a cool play to be a part of that room, like it would be similar to what we're in the Congress room and have these guys debating out this trial.
Yeah.
I would jump at the opportunity to do that. Well, then 2 days later, Chris and Jason are working on one of their scenes, and it might have even been you. And Jason says to Chris, maybe we could do 12 Angry Men sometime.
That would be a blast.
He has brought that up.
Talk about intense.
But again, too, it is, from what I understand, a non-negotiable, non-musical type.
Well, that's in the
non-musicals.
extent that's in terms of the regular season. If somebody wanted to put up their own money for a dark weekend and rent out the theater, we could certainly do it. And honestly, I could see that happening because I think there is that thirst for people to be a part of that kind of storytelling, and for audiences that want to see that kind of storytelling.
We were talking last night in between scenes about Odd Couple, too. Would be fun to do.
Oh my gosh, my dad was in Odd Couple with opposite Rod Lockman.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
They did a great job.
So your dad was obviously Felix. Rod was Oscar?
No, my dad was Oscar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And Rod played it straight and
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Wow, not to stereotype, but didn't see that one coming.
A good man wasn't.
Oh, a good man.
Okay,
that
we've
was a
talked
great-
about
It was a
that
straight
one.
play.
That one is a blast.
So basically, A Good Man it's a story.
There's
It takes
one
place.
song in
It
it.
takes place in a funeral home, and it's at this guy's wake, and this old man and his family, his children come, and a totally dysfunctional family. So there's that storyline of all the fun dysfunction that's funny to watch. But then
Dad's body's lost.
And then the dad's the girl is like,
Refrigeration
she goes
goes down.
This isn't Dad. It's like, what? It's like, what? Did they wheel out the casket and try to go? Oh, we found him. It's great. But then halfway through the show, you got this schizophrenic air conditioner repair guy, and the whole time in the first act, the air conditioning's broken. So like,
How's he get a gun?
they're worried about spoilage, obviously, in the funeral home because there's
refrigeration's
no
down.
right,
We got major
the
issues.
AC.
Yeah,
So
major issues.
my dad played the AC guy, and he sees the dead body and flips out, pulls a gun out of his toolbox, and holds everybody hostage. So for the rest of the show, everybody's being held hostage at their father's wake, and it's an actual
good.
actor in the coffin in the center of the room, laying there the whole
there's
time.
There's two because
Oh,
one
yeah.
of them is the real dad.
Yes.
And Richard Smiley and Jack Weldon.
Jack Weldon played.
off, right?
Yeah, but Richard Smiley, he stayed in this coffin the entire time. Hilarious show, but that's the kind of stuff I want to do.
He got paid scale for doing that. Too.
I bet his acting was a little wooden, but
Well,
we just need to find a corporate sponsor to step in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe a mortgage company. Those
I mean,
those guys
might
have
as
lots
well.
of money.
Yeah, I know Tyler Fallis has talked about he's shown interest in directing these types of shows and stuff, even if it was just for 1 weekend or whatever. So
I think.
well,
it'd be
you've
a
said the
blast.
same thing. too.
yeah,
especially
so
even a good
there's
man,
a
we
lot
literally
of
talked
people.
about it.
There's a lot of people talking about it. I think enough so to where we might be able to start a
Well, and I think
revolution.
I think 1776 like lends it to that because honestly, we weren't sure how it would sell, and I feel like the audiences are enjoying that it's something different.
Yeah.
there is that more dramatic dialogue scenes that sometimes get not lost in musicals, but just get mixed in. Where here it's kind of the focus more.
I think this cast is incredible. I mean, I look around. I love that you're an incredible addition to the cast because you have presence on stage and you have a great speaking voice. Like you already have those fundamentals for performance.
And he can
So-
sing too. He doesn't. He
He can. He can
I'm
sing.
hearing him singing.
He doesn't
and
know the
sounds
tenor
good.
baritone. Like
Yeah.
He's a tenor bone.
Oh, that was George.
Yeah,
Evans.
tenor
bone.
Sorry.
tenor bow.
My God. But looking around at that first rehearsal, I was like, all these faces. There's Jim Lusk. There's Jim McCabe. Now, there's usually an old man part, just one.
You
in
never
every
see
show.
both Jims on
and
stage.
it's either Jim, but this show, I'm like, both Jims. It's like seeing Batman and Bruce Wayne
Right,
standing
right,
next
right,
to each
right.
other. You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Now I'm confused. But no, it's
Makes me
been
miss
great.
Jack Adams. Remember
Oh, Jack Adams.
Gosh,
Yes.
he was such a blast.
Yeah. Roger Galloway, when I saw his name on the cast list,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I was so excited.
Well,
Just
and then
to
you
work with all
have
guys.
Josiah and his dad,
Yes.
Tim.
Right.
And then you also
Ian.
have Tyler and Jason.
Right.
Yeah.
And Ian, and Chris.
Yeah.
Like,
It's beautiful.
Scott and Scotty.
and Scott. Oh my gosh.
Son of a mother's lover.
It's so crazy. Yeah, just the family can. Wow. I didn't realize there were that many until I started listing them all.
Yeah, me neither. Wow, that's incredible.
It is.
Wow. So what do you have a favorite line, Lonnie, that you say in the show? Or I have one of yours.
It's funny because one of my scenes is where he's trying to persuade me, and I have this dramatic no, and the second night, my oldest son and his girlfriend and their friends came, and they came by, and that was their favorite line of the show. I think it's more of the interaction. I don't know that I really have anything memorable per se. I think the memorable part is me trying to non-verbally show my displeasure to him, his interactions, his trying to persuade me, and a little bit of our back and forth, but I'm kind of limited, so I've just got a bunch of grunts and facial expressions and hands in the air. And
I'm saying nasty stuff about his social media. And he's looking at me like,
slips in
how do I
something
respond
different every
to
night.
this? And then talking about your bow-legged mama
Yeah.
and your sister from New Brunswick and your sister's from New Brunswick. And then after he's yelling back at me when we're in the middle of the stage, and I'm telling him how bad the three little words are that he changed in the Declaration.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Important
In
and
many
puffing his check
cases.
out. In many cases. And your bow-legged mama. And he just looks at me. I met his mom the other day. And so I love your mother, and I'll just talk about your sister. Do you have a sister?
No,
Okay, I'll talk about.
I'm
your
a
sister
spoiled
tonight.
only child.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Oh wow. Well, it's incredible having both you guys up there.
So you have a favorite memorable line of mine?
I do. I think I've told you this before. It's when Jim Lusk says, "Mr. Reed, you only speak for 1/3 of Delaware," and you're like, "The sensible third, Mr. Rodney."
That's a good one.
My favorite line of Jerry is after one of Washington's correspondents. Immediately, you're like, "That man could depress a hyena." I laughed out loud the first time you said it. I think it was your delivery.
Nobody else laughs. I'm glad you.
It was so quick right after it.
Okay, I'll do it quicker tonight.
That's what made me
Because
laugh.
last night, honestly, I'm thinking, who's supposed to be talking right now? And then I go, oh shit.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
That's
5
always
minutes
a great
later,
moment.
that man could depress a hyena. What man? What are you talking about, Aldridge?
We've lost
Do
contact.
you need a break? It's almost
man.
intermission. Relax.
Right? We're so close.
Oh man, it's like the finish line. Oh gosh.
It's amazing how much just him and I on our little reaction, how much we have massaged that damn thing and worked it. That's part of the process.
What we're really trying to do, I think there's some comedic stuff. There's a lot of heavy stuff in this. So I'm really trying, and I should probably ask the director this because
People chuckle at your dynamic.
Oh, yeah.
Because when I'm up there yelling about Washington and how depressing he is, and I'm still trying to find out, and I was going to ask you today because your comedic timing is awesome.
Thank you.
When I'm through with that, and my last line is after McCabe tells me it's too hot, and I'm done with my rant, and I say, "Oh, yes, I suppose so." I'm trying to figure out how to. I think that's an opportunity for the audience.
It's
to chuckle.
imagine him just like taking a pin and just deflating you because you're like,
I don't know if I'm addressing that the way I should. I'll talk to you about it.
Okay. Okay, we can
I feel like
we
you
can
need
rework
to use.
it. We can rework it.
Ricky's so good for that comedic timing with like body movements. I think he's gonna bring in. You have to incorporate your body in how you deliver the
I've
line.
struggled with Thomas Jefferson
So hard.
because I'm very much a Dick Van Dyke, Jim Carrey kind of actor with my body language. That's half my comedy right there. Not that Jefferson's supposed to be comedic, but
But he's got some great comedic.
he has some opportunities for sure.
does.
But
I
it's really hard for
burn.
me to not use my entire body.
Yeah, I burn Mr. A.
I burn Mr. A. That one, the first time I did it was very much like, I burn. But now I'm like, tone it down. This is 17.
Yeah.
If you just turn and put your arms up and just kind of like I think that would be.
Probably. I'll try that.
Experiment.
I
we
don't know
should
if
not
No,
be
it should
talking
be the
about
same
Keep
every
it
night.
consistent.
Consistency.
Yeah. So speaking
I'm
about
in the
change
background, like
anything.
shaking my head. Yeah, shut this guy up. Go sit down.
yeah, and there's evolution obviously as we go and as we rehearse and perform. We find these things like the moment where you take your gun and you just point it at him. Now it's such a bit, and at first it was so subtle, but we've all slowly built that into.
And the second that no was
his
dress
face.
dress rehearsal, and then, well, Jason had an epiphany, and he said, "You know what? Let's try this. I think people like this because it was getting lost how I was approaching them, and this is better."
Yeah, well, and I'm right there, able to see the look on his face. And like last night, I don't know, I just caught it, and you were looking like, what's everybody looking at?
Well, yeah, and that's just
God,
it.
it's
Now
McCain.
it turned from just an interaction with the two of you, and now you see
The whole
everyone like you would in a
Selling
real room if someone
Yeah.
pulled out,
gun, yeah.
very clear. Everyone's like,
Well, when I cock the thing and then and I'm putting the gun up in the air so everybody knows what's going on, and I cock it like that, and then I aim it toward his head. Everybody in the audience goes, "Whoa!" Like what's going on? So it's kind of fun.
So tell me about because there is a payoff once you get an audience. You know what I mean? So you hear the reactions, and sometimes that can throw people off. Did that have any impact, negative or positive, on you, or were you like, "Oh, they're laughing at this. I didn't realize that was funny."
I mean, I think that's the payoff for everything, the blood, sweat, and tears that everybody has put in the 3-4 weeks leading up to is hearing that connection with the audience. My biggest feeling was opening night and Jason's opening monologue about two people being a law firm and people laughing and three being in Congress and more chuckles. And it was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like that little monologue will determine, so far it has,
Yes.
the response for the rest of the show.
It's all on Jason.
Their reactions in that moment, like last night, it was not as big of a reaction to that monologue. And I feel like that was consistent with their reactions the rest of the show. Whereas Sunday afternoon,
Sunday,
man,
ready
they were
to laugh.
rolling.
They were having a
They were
blast.
laughing at everything, even
Everything.
stuff they shouldn't have.
Yes.
Caesar Rodney collapsed, and they're like, ah!
Well, yeah, that was. Yeah, I hope that was nervous. I don't.
Yeah, it's
because-
interesting
It had
the
to be,
way, and plus it's like, and it's a group reaction. It's not just one person laughing. So
Yeah.
it's kind of an interesting psychology experiment, just how.
And to me, Burke's line is the comedy, and that is,
Yes.
here's this doctor that comes up and he's looking, and his reaction is, oh, he should go home.
I never thought about that.
I mean,
Actually,
that has got to
Yeah.
be the most ridiculous, like, okay.
Yep, he should go home. You're right. That'd be great.
It's the cancer.
So it depends on what comes up in the future then, depending on if we get
Are we negotiating right now, or what are we looking for? A commitment?
We're just talking. I'm talking.
So last time I signed a contract without reading it fully, I have removed my beard.
okay.
So
Okay. So what was that like? What was the reception like in your comment section? The first video you posted after you shaved. How long have you had that beard?
Since he was 7.
yeah, it's. I think we're seeing things pop up on Facebook memories from 15, 16 years ago that I was clean shaven, or at least had a mustache. I've always had a mustache, and it was. Well, it was the evolution of, we were trying to put the campaign together beforehand of the AI generated photos of us in costume.
Oh, yeah.
Start building
right.
some promotion. And was working with Chris and the AI manipulation of me being clean shaven and then putting me into wig and costume in that, there was no resemblance at all. And it was like, God, this is just messed up. So I'm like, all right, if we're going to do this right, I just need to bite the bullet. I need to clean shave so we can get a clean photo of what, at least a base to work with, and then Chris can add from that. So I told my wife what I was doing, and then I came out clean shaven, and her reaction was, "And the mustache too?" I'm like, clean shaven's clean shaven.
Yeah.
You didn't say you were cleaning off the mustache.
They didn't have mustaches, no.
Yeah.
So I went out and
Only the women had mustache.
shot my photos for Chris, and then started growing it back the next day. And I think I had, within 3 weeks, I had my beard back. And then it was Hell Week, and everybody else is starting to show up clean shaven.
Yeah.
Then it became who's going to be the last
it slowly
holdout.
was like every rehearsal.
Some people struggle to let go for sure.
And there is still there's some characters that are not happy about it. So.
Well, I mean, hey, I'm
telling you,
glad that
Mark Short looks 15 years younger.
it's
without the
crazy
beard.
what it does.
So does Roger Galloway. Mm-hmm. Roger Galloway looks like a combination of Paul McCartney and Martin Short right now. Look at him. Look at him today
Okay.
and tell me what you think.
Son of a gun.
Paul
I'm gonna have to
McCartney
think
now
about that
and Martin
later.
Short, not when he was 19 in the Beatles, but now.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Martin Short now. You mix those two faces together. If Martin Short and Paul McCartney had a baby, it would be Roger Galloway.
You heard it here first.
What?
It's
True
incredible.
statement. True
That is
statement.
incredible. How am I going to not think about
I
this
know.
tonight at
This
the
is
show?
all-
Oh my God.
All I'm gonna think about.
McNair.
Nair. Rum.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, just to plug our show real quick. 1776 at Grace Arts Live. Next weekend is the last weekend. What's that date?
The 27th, 28th of February, and then March 1st.
Yeah, so those are the final dates. So get your tickets for those because we're all in it, and she's music directing, so the music sounds wonderful.
It does.
Hey, I just
beautiful
appreciate
job.
people like you guys that actually look up at me. I can tell
No,
you
I
don't do
get-
it as
it's
much, but you
magic.
do. And every time I look, Jerry's like
no, I
right
know.
there,
I
staring
know
right
what
at me.
to do
The audience
based
is like,
on
why
the
isn't
picture.
McKean just a...
I know.
McKean? McKean or
And he's
McKean?
dancing.
McKean.
McKean, sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited that one of Colonel Thomas McKean's, so it would be his great granddaughter's coming to the show.
Are you serious?
Wait, really?
Yeah, a descendant of Colonel Thomas McKean sent a email to Eileen, and then also Stephen Hopkins, great 7 times removed granddaughter is coming to the show also next
What?
weekend. Yeah.
That's
There are
wild.
people that know their ancestry now and who they're related to.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
That is so
and they're coming to see
interesting.
the
And they're coming to
show.
see our show.
And
Little
we're
cabs
just
there.
hoping that the one that comes to see Galloway screaming to McNair to get him another rum or 15 rums, which is what he's really doing, will appreciate the. I think that person already knows the show.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Oh, my
God.
gosh.
It's fun, but this is 250-year-old history, and it is absolutely amazing to me the intensity of this show in the part where independence almost doesn't happen. At very best, we would have ended up 2 independent, completely separate nations, the North and the South, which almost happened again 100 years later during the Civil War, right? Slavery was a huge issue.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm
Economic
actually,
issue.
and that whole scene with Rutledge, it's
So
tense.
intense.
And I realized last night that I'm the one who sparks it. I mean, I know Rutledge is the one that stands up for that reason, but I'm the one because he says, "Oh, you're referring to us as slaves of the king," and I'm the one that says, "No, I'm referring to this." And then the audience reaction last night was like,
Oh, no. It was-
instant
they got it.
discomfort.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
but
they
it's
got
it's
it.
nice to
It's supposed to have that uneasy feeling of we're dealing with something that is intense. And you can feel it the whole time. And Tyler's delivery, I tell him every day. He's tired of me telling him how amazing he is. I'm sure he is, because that was just spot on.
My favorite part of his song, and I think maybe it's because of where I'm sitting, and I have that peripheral of him looking at Adams,
Right.
with the spotlight behind him from my perspective, and he says, "Mr. Adams, I give you a toast. Hail Charlestown." Oh my gosh, the whole thing. He times it to the music. He's got it down now.
It's perfect.
And I'm
Let's
just
be
like,
real. The music times it to him. It's separate tracks.
Oh,
I play
The
it.
bumps are separate tracks?
Yeah.
No way.
Good.
I'm like, he's nailing this.
No,
He's
it's
nailing
me.
it because he's managed properly.
Okay, I thought that was weird.
Great job.
No, and there's honestly, I think it was the first show or Final Dress where I played the music at the wrong time, and I was like, this really messes it up if I play it at the wrong. I played it like half
Yeah.
a second early,
Right.
and it was like the dun went before the hail. I'm like,
Okay.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
So,
now there's a big mark in my book to
Yeah.
wait.
nice.
But
Wow,
yeah.
that's crazy. I did not
Charlestown.
know that. Yeah, it's the it's the end and the beginning.
It's beautiful.
When he said, "Oh, haven't you heard, Mr. Adams?" Clink, clink, and like his delivery is just, it really is like a little chilling. Yeah.
It
Well, and I
is-
think
it is chilling.
he plays with those lines, like puts those dramatic pauses in so well
Yes.
that like for the start of that music, I had to watch him and really play with, okay, I'm going to start it here. Nope, that was too early. Okay, now here. So that whole rehearsal process and really with him seeing what sounded right.
Yeah, and people got to understand it's not just the actors who are experimenting trying to get their job correct. It's also people like Jackie back there trying to make the story happen as well.
So what's it like for you, who coming off of a part where you were on stage almost
Oh, the Grinch, yeah.
100% of the time, and now you've got not a small role, but a smaller role.
It's
with
kind of
some-
like a vacation. Scene 3 for me is like, I'm so glad I get to be on stage and just, it's like I'm sitting here relaxing with you guys.
Well, there's a lot of that's what the difficult part for me is we're sitting for long periods of time, and then there's an interjection, then there's a pause, and then you're supposed to carry something forward, and it's really interesting to me because I don't think I've ever played a part where you just say things sometimes.
Like monologues are easier to remember.
They are.
But if you have a one line.
I guess that's what I was getting at. Is it harder to come in and out of a play like that? Because for me, it's the adrenaline of going out for the first song and then coming off, and then it's 15 minutes later before we're back on and doing our scene.
Yeah.
And then do that for a while and then come off, and then it's kind of sitting and listening and okay, when do we go back on, and just trying to get then back into what we're doing.
That's the reality of every production that you'll be in. You're
Yeah.
on, you're off, you're
But
on.
I just wonder for people like him
But yeah,
that
for like
have
the
been-
Grinch or when I did Elf,
that-
I was on every scene.
Yeah,
there was not a single scene where I wasn't on. So yeah, I totally get what you're saying. It's easier to stay in the zone when you're in the zone pretty much 98% of the time. But yeah, going on and off stage, like especially if the monitors aren't working, you can't hear your cue line. But yeah, because you got to stay on your toes more. If you just are in every scene, you're like, okay, it's like a 2-hour blur, and then you're finished the show. But and I think some performances feel, I guess depending on how your day went, sometimes you might be worn out from the day, and so the show might drag on. Like, oh my gosh, the scene that I'm not in is like dragging on forever, But it's the same. It's like you have to focus more with a smaller part. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
And that's what that's kind of what I felt. There's, again, what you were talking about during the big scenes, and you've got dialogue going over on one side of the stage, and we're kind of going and having our own little bit, but then it becomes front and center, and trying to listen to that cue, trying to act, okay, we're having this interaction, but
While I'm listening for this to
I'm really
happen.
listening. And one time I even told him, I'm like, shut up, I'm trying to hear what you're doing.
He does. He doesn't want to talk to me when I'm talking, and because he's trying to at least listening for his cue, and I won't do that tonight.
So what is your tip off for the gun bit then? Because you're not facing him. Are you depending on other people?
Well, and that's how it had kind of developed is I'm trying to shift so that I specifically can't see it coming. And what we worked out in our table to kind of enhance that is my interaction with the two other actors is positioning myself so that I've got more back to him, and then I'm cueing off of their faces, of their eyes getting big, and it's even gone further now where Charles that plays Mr. Wilson is like getting out of the way, and
I don't want to get.
And it's like,
that's incredible.
So now I'm hearing the audience, and it's like I can hear them laughing, and it's like, all right, well, we need to drag this out. So I'm trying to do as slow of a turn as possible.
It's great.
To kind of build that up, and then it's like, okay, really, how am I supposed to react with someone pointing a gun at me in the Continental Congress? And it's just like, whatever, dude.
That's why I'm saying, get up. We need to talk.
Yeah, there's when you're back there, watch Lonnie tonight, because he is in the zone every second of every scene. And I say that because I always look at the actors. I like looking at actors and what they do when the focus is not on them.
Yes.
To see if they just tune out and just become themselves, or if they stay in the character. If you look when Jim Lusk stands up and votes for independence, he is still pissed off about it. He's shaking his head like,
no, that's one thing I was going to say. Like, you really can see, both of you, but especially you, Lonnie, like your reactions to your facial expressions. You're like, oh, I just have a lot of doing facial expressions. Yeah, but it comes across like you're like, oh, he does not like that.
And Jerry has always been, in my opinion, a really great character actor. So if you notice his whole performance, he's got a particular look on his face. He's got a particular posture that he always has. Like, you have developed the Colonel into this.
Well, I see this. Yeah, I see this guy as cranky, pretty much.
Yeah,
Cranky.
dude. When I saw your picture on Grace Art's live page, it's like,
oh, you know,
one of my favorites.
And that's not AI. I can make that face. but I do the theater thing. I do the sad face and happy theater face. So I start with. And you go from one to the other, and then a combination of like what this guy with the picture that we used in the because somebody said, "Is that AI?" And I said, "Unfortunately, no."
Unfortunately, that's my face.
But anyway.
Oh my gosh! Well, you guys, we got to cut it short because we got a show to get ready for tonight. I'm sure you guys got stuff to do beforehand.
To a new house today.
See, so
all those mortgages that you have.
Yeah.
Did mine come through because we're already in the house?
I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
Oh no.
We'll talk off camera.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the Miss Q. We really appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
We look forward to doing the show tonight as well.
Thank you.
We're gonna have a kick-ass performance of 1776.
It'll be awesome. Our best yet.
It's gonna be amazing.
And you need to come. If you haven't seen this show yet, you really need to come and see it. There's drama, there's comedy, there's music. I mean, it's got everything. It's got absolutely everything in it, and it's intense. The drama part is intense, but it ends well.
Spoiler alert.
I mean,
250 years later, here we are.
Yeah.
My 18-year-old son came last night with 4 of his friends, and it was really, really, really cool. After the show, they were just all smiles. They loved the show. They were thoroughly entertained.
Wonderful.
And just really, really enjoyed their first time at a Grace Arts event. And I thought that's the highest compliment, right? I mean, we reached 18-year-olds on a subject that they probably, like me, just learned enough to pass a test in school and got by, but they really got something out of it.
Yeah, there's little tidbits in the show that are like Thomas Jefferson and his writer's block and kind of how that gets cured. I'm like, I had no idea.
Right.
Call in the missus.
Right.
I had no idea that you wrote it all by yourself.
Exactly.
I thought it was a collaboration.
Yeah, it's incredible. No, it's all
well,
me.
and even just knowing that so many people were against it.
Yeah,
That's the crazy
and the moment I realized that, like in scene 7, I'm like, I don't have any lines. That's great. I just sit here. As soon as I sit down, there's Jerry. Tom, I'm like, oh, everybody's arguing about my paper, so I have to defend it.
react.
This scene is about me defending my paper. Okay.
It's a Bonnie paper you've written, except
You
for
know
this
what?
part and that part.
You know
and
what
this
though? It's in those little moments where, like Jason has said, these guys were true gentlemen and respectful toward each other. So like when you pay that respect, it's a Bonnie paper you've written. I kind of give you that nod of appreciation, like thank you for, noticing. Now what is it?
Right. And now you're going to tear it apart.
But it's been really nice. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope you had a good time here on the Missed Q.
Had a great time.
As always, there is
There's
no
no
excuse for a missed or late cue.
cue.
This episode of The Missed Q is brought to you by Anderson Auto and Power Sports, proudly serving Mojave County since 1999 with top-tier rides and hometown pride. Whether it's roads or waves, Anderson's got you covered. Follow The Missed Q on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube. And remember, there's no excuse for a missed or late cue.